I'll take this slide. This is Dr. Saunders. So I'm actually going to walk you through the next slide with the, before we go there, with the actual portal, but this is going to be the overview of what I walk you through on the website. And it is the overview of the two phases of the application process. So from the timelines on the previous slide, things were divided into phase 1 and phase 2. And right now we have a great opportunity to get a lot of phase 1 activities done between now and February 8th when the application or phase 2 actually opens. So I'm going to walk you through the portal to show you how you create an account, where you'll find timelines, how you can actually view the approved residency sites that we have now. These aren't open positions now, we're off cycle. We do have some off cycle, and I'll show you those. I'll show you how to view those approved sites so that you can reach out if you'd like to set up preceptorships. And I will show you how to request faculty evaluations and upload your personal statements and essays and your NCLEX scores. So, and then in phase 2, that's the application process. That's really when we post all of the open jobs. And if you've done your due diligence during phase 1 and gotten all of your documents ready and really worked on those personal statements, worked on those essays, requested things from your evaluators, you'll be really set up for success in phase 2. So I can't stress that enough. We're going into the holiday season. We'll have a little bit of downtime to get these phase 1 activities done. But on February 8th for phase 2, we will have all the jobs posted. At this point, you'll be able to do a couple of other activities on the portal, like creating an order and then actually submitting your application for the site by the deadlines that were on the previous slide. So Joanne, if I could get next slide, please. So this is the website and interface for the sign-in page for the student portal. I'm going to go ahead and move over to share screen. So Dr. Yanes, thank you. And I will show you, this is the residency portal. It was just on the previous slide. Go to candidate sign in. This is our splash page. Hopefully many of you have already been here. We had an opportunity to register for today's webinar here. Pretty soon I'll be putting the link here for those of you who aren't with us today to listen. And these announcements go across and go all the way down here, and we'll be continuing to add more as we go through phase 1 and phase 2. So again, here's that timeline that we saw on the slide previously that Dr. Schiffler was talking about. So again, great things to come in and check, put in your calendar. So over here on the left-hand side, we're going to navigate. I'm going to show you a couple of things. So here's open residencies. So these are actually residencies that are open right now for those that have already passed boards and are licensed. And some of these opportunities do exist throughout the year, aside from this big phase 1, phase 2 match that we're talking to you about today. So I would hit search, and I can see there's 2 openings right now, and I could click into them, look at the job descriptions, and click apply if I had all my documents ready, which takes me to the next one. Here's where you are going to upload your documents. So you go to my documents. You can see I haven't started yet, but if I was going to get started, I would hit add new. I would label my document and then say to the program what exactly that document is, and then browse my own computer, upload it, and submit. And then I would be able to see it listed in my documents. Another phase 1 activity is just registering your credit card. And that can be done on this page by clicking in here. This right now says off cycle because we are technically in the off cycle, but by February 8th, when you're able to apply, this is where you'll click in and put your information. And then as you apply to various sites, you will be charged for each site that you apply to. And the registration or the application fee this year is $49. So a phase 1 activity that you can do, you want to see what sites are actually out there and approved. So approved sites is very different from open residencies. These are just sites that have historically been approved and that you could reach out and see if you wanted to learn more about their program. It doesn't guarantee they're going to offer a program come February, but there could be some preceptor opportunities. So I can click all there, and I can see I have 94 different sites that I could look at this time. And these are folks that have given us permission to just be visible year round, even if they don't host a resident every year. Some people are on a 2-year cycle because they offer 2-year residencies, or even 3. So credentials. This is probably the most confusing part of this program of the software is, what does credentials mean? And we're going to talk about, did you place your credentials order? Did you get your faculty evaluators? But the credentials link here is where you get your recommendations and your transcripts. And so if I wanted to send the system, ask the system to send a faculty evaluation for me, if I were a student, I would click add new, and I would put the faculty's information in here, and the system's and I'm gonna say something really nice right in here in the comments, maybe even remind them of all the wonderful things that I've done on shift or what classes I was in, and ask if they would be willing. You should actually verbally ask about evaluations ahead of time, but once someone says they'll be willing, this is where you can ask the system to send them a online form to fill out that has your evaluation. And I'll show you what questions it's going to ask in just a moment as well. This is also where you enter your registrar's information to get your transcripts. Once your registrar or your faculty has uploaded the evaluation or transcript, it will appear here under completed recommendations. So you see I have one completed here. Once you see all 3 of your evaluations, so I should back up. You do need 3 evaluations and 1 transcript. It's going to go into this credentials order. Once you have all 3 faculty evaluations and your transcripts that are in the completed tab, you'll pop over to your order tab and you'll place an order with us essentially by clicking add new right here. And you'll click on what you want us to compile. Now the evaluations and transcripts are not visible to you. And so that is why you're placing an order. You're placing an order for us to go behind the scenes to grab your evaluations and your transcripts and put them in a confidential package or PDF, and then upload them back to your documents. So once we have done that, you will see your credentials order in your documents, and you can use that to apply to sites. But you will not be able to open and view that. So that's something that happens in the back. And I guess the last area I want to make sure I point out is under resources. We have something called pathways here that will allow you to use a checklist to ensure that you've completed all of the various different steps. So it'll tell you, did you upload your resume, personal statement? Did you navigate to fees and register your credit card? Did you remind your faculty evaluators? This is sort of a running to-do list for you that can be helpful for some. It's not a required element, but the system will kick out you reminders reminding you to finish some of these activities. And the final, and I think probably one of the most important things for you all right now, and you are in the exploratory phase and you're looking for information, is this document library. And the document library has a how-to guide for everything that I just said in a step-by-step with little arrows. So here's how you sign in. Here's how you visit past sites. Here's how you can work on your documents and how you should save them and what title, how to get your faculty evaluations, etc. So this is a really great document to have handy. We also have a downloadable copy of the timeline if that's you prefer to have a printed form instead of trying to read the announcements or reference this particular slide deck when Dr. Yanis sends it out. There are instructions for how to write a resume, and that's probably one of the more important things in here, so you can really get going on that. There's a very specific format for the resume as well, and all the instructions are in there. If you're curious about matching, the match process and the guidelines around that, we'll talk more about it when we get definitely closer to the actual application timeline, but they're here for those of you that are curious. And then this one right here in the middle, this is if you wanted to see what our faculty evaluator is going to be asked. This form is not to be sent to faculty evaluators because they actually fill out something like a SurveyMonkey, a digital form on the internet, but we wanted to empower you to know what is going to be asked of you, about you, to your evaluator, and what to make sure that you're choosing an evaluator that has seen you do all of these things and is able to comment and write good positive things about you. So I believe that was the last thing in the Oh, nope. Down here, the last one is instructions for writing the personal statement and essays. And those, again, are something you can get started on this holiday season with a little bit of downtime. And I believe that, and if you have any questions about your account, you can surf through here. There are some email privileges and things if you're trying to turn on or turn off automatic messages. You can surf through some of those. And that is our walkthrough on the Simplicity AANMC residency portal. And I will stop sharing and hand it back over.